In this work, we aim to explore digital inking of structure information via handcrafted styling as a first-class object. Visual note-taking is an essential component of work and personal life. Bullet journaling is one example where the intent is to track progress, visualize our daily data, or to remind us something to do or will happen. A habit tracking template can be used to track the progress of our current tasks, or a stylized to-do list with clouds to remind us what are our current things to remember for the current month. People generally use custom styles and embellishment to create such personal visualizations. Despite many advances in the digital note-taking area and the abundance of note-taking applications, people still continue to do it by hand and by using pen and paper. However, there is a lot of advantages to use digital platforms. And to better support digital note-taking, we believe that we should support techniques to preserve freeform expression, creative embellishment, custom layouts, and to support style changes. Toward this goal of expressive digital inking, we propose a set of novel interaction concepts in our Style-Blocks prototype. We introduce dividers, that are components helping to structure handwritten notes. Dividers separate blocks of information from each other, and they can push aside strokes to make space for new content. Blocks are a spontaneous spatial organization of handwritten notes. The content of these blocks may vary from a paragraph of text to a bulleted list or a diagram. Blocks are often associated with a visual style and repeated in a page. Tags are recurrent visual elements in notes, often associated with a particular meaning for the note-taker. Tags may also serve as a salient element aiding visual search. These elements may be headers, highlighted words or keywords, or visual symbols. Tags can be stacked on top of each other and be used as bullets in lists or as a component user can iterate through. The palette, such as a painter palette, is a place for experimenting, where users can draw strokes and modify their properties dynamically to get an overview of what the strokes will look like. Our palette also serves as a place for storage and quick access, where users can have visual examples combining complex properties at their fingertips. Fillable pens are being used to leverage the computing power and functionalities, yet inaccessible from analog support. Fillable pens can contain digital functions that return ink, such as arithmetical functions, to average or sum numbers. It can also contain visual text annotation, such as highlighter, that recognize the underlying content. Fillable pens can also contain a set of strokes to be laid out on the page, such as a rubber band. Those four concepts enable to uncraft style as a first-class object. We enable styling both during and after taking notes, and with approaches that afford hand-drawn digital ink that can still exhibit pride in craftsmanship. We also enable efficient creation of handcrafted design. We seek to offer strategies and instruments that enable people to craft unique and personal design. We provide efficient ways to style notes and reuse personal design through blocks. We also enable minimizing disruptions. We avoid navigating into menus and switching applications. We enable people to keep the pen in hand while taking notes, and we have affordances for doing so with fair and in style. We also enable to interact with ink. We enable direct manipulation on ink and leverage the computational power available in the digital world to facilitate parallel activities occurring during note-taking with the fillable pens. To gather feedback on the concepts we proposed, we recruited 13 participants, 4 journalers, 4 note-takers that watch videos of the system, and finally 5 users that interact with the system. Dividers were very well received, and participants commented on its seamless integration without the need to switch to a particular pen instrument to insert a specific object at a specific position. Half of the participants commented positively on the aesthetically pleasing uniformity of templates they could create from the blocks, and half of the other participants were more excited by styling a posteriori rather than creating templates. Participants were particularly excited about duplication and piling of tags, as it enabled them to limit time invested in filling their journals. And generally, it intrigued them to think of what design they could create with this new tool. The dynamic palette was also unanimously praised by participants. Several commented on the metaphor of the real painter's palette. Participants also emphasized a less disruptive interaction, a more direct visual feedback that feel less limited. Fillable pens were intriguing to many of the participants. All of them commented on the compound ink pens as such a cool idea, enticing, and providing a simple mechanism to craft uniform and beautiful border and decoration. However, participants were more reserved on using fillable pens to apply particular functions such as summing numbers, as we demonstrated earlier. As a future work, we are interested in investigating the potential to transfer our key concepts for other application and context, such as using our fillable pens on other supports such as a spreadsheet with custom functions, using our palette in other contexts to store queries, formulae, and functions, or to use our block concepts in a more structured approach format.